Board members, welcome back from your committee meetings. We want to call this meeting to order. Want to welcome USDB and our audience, and that we'll get started. I know we have plenty to do today, and we need to probably do our best to stay on schedule. So with that, first business of the day, I'm seeking a motion to approve the minutes of the March 16th, 2018 USDB board meeting. Do we have a second? Second. Any discussion? Seeing none, let's vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Voting was unanimous. Okay, we didn't have anybody sign up for public comment. Let's go right into the monthly budget report. We have Finance Director Carl Empey. Okay, your mic.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's better now. Good afternoon. It's a pleasure to be here. Our financial statements as of March 31st, 2018, for the first 9 months of the fiscal year, we've collected $24.6 million in revenues, which is approximately 70% of our total budgeted revenues for the year. We estimate another $10.7 million remaining. On our expenditures, we've incurred $25.04 million, which approximates 68%. So on our revenues, we're at 70% of collections. Our expenses, we're at 68%. So we're pretty much right on track of where we want to be. The number of students that we're currently serving as of the end of March is 1,768. Our enrichment fund balance as of March 31st is $1,443,273. Our donated funds, when we produced the reports and sent them to Lorraine, we had not received the March 31st bank statements yet. But so on your financial report, on this report in the bottom right, you'll have a bunch of blanks. But the dollar amount for the balance as of March 31st is $1,115,465. On the next report, the budget status report, just gives the same detail but more granular detail, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. And then on the donated funds summary, we've got the detail as of March 31st, and I'd be happy to send this to Lorraine if any of you would like to have that report. And with that, our enrichment fund balance, it just shows the projects that we're still working on as of March 31st. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have. If I don't have the answers, we'll get the answers and report back to you.
Okay, board members, we've had these in our packet. Is there anybody have any questions?
Mark, I would like Mark, sorry, can you hear me?
Go ahead, Linda.
I would like a copy of the donations report if Lorraine's going to send that out.
Great. We'll be happy to provide that to Lorraine and get that for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions? I have one, Carl, and that is on your receivables. It looks like you're on track. Do you anticipate any challenges or? Hold on, let me turn this. Something happened here. Let me turn it back on. Okay.
We anticipate, since we produce these financial reports, another $6 million draw from the capital. So right now we're at $19.3 million, and we anticipate another $6 million coming in. So that'll put us about $25 million of the $28 million. So that will really boost the revenues received percent up quite a bit. And on the expenses side, on the revenue side, we still have some grants that we'll start applying for in the month of May and June that will also boost our receivables. But right now, there's nothing on the radar screen that causes us any alarm on the revenue side.
Okay, as a follow-up on there, on your grants and that, you said you're going to start on those when?
We start submitting those in May and June.
May and June.
Like the Baby Watch Grant, the Blind Literacy Act, and the Deafblind Grant.
Okay. Well, hopefully you have great success with those. Board members, do you have any questions of the finance director? Seeing none, I'm looking at a screen here just to see if they push their button, but I have to look at that, and then I have to look and make sure if somebody's trying to flag me down. But so we'll. Vice Chair Ellis has a question or comment.
Thank you. I'm just on any of these grants or donations, are there any type of contract with those, associated with those agreements that you're making to receive those funds?
According to my understanding, there are contracts with them, and we just need to submit the proper paperwork to be able to be reimbursed for our expenses that we've incurred.
Okay. I just, if there's any strings attached to those, I'd be interested in being able to look at
Okay.
those to see what they are.
We will
For
let you
large
know.
donations, thank you.
Okay.
There, Carl, there is quite a bit of concern on data right now. So if there's data pieces to those, would probably like to know about those. We're trying to be consistent in what we do
Okay.
with USBE, and we might as well keep the consistency going with USDB.
Sure.
Would that be okay with you, Superintendent? Absolutely. Okay.
We'll coordinate with Scott and Deborah and make sure we're consistent with the format that we present.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Next up is, and you'll have to, who's going to talk to it? Who's going to talk to the school calendar? Oh, no, okay. Is the USDB 2018-19 school calendar. I made this request on here just so that we have an understanding of how all that works as a governing board. If we want to participate or see something or go to something, we'll know how to track. What's that? And they are very unique, and so I thought that, so I asked for this presentation to talk a little bit. And so, who's going to talk?
I can probably speak to it.
Oh, okay,
Can you hear me?
hang on. You will in a sec. Well, it had on here Michelle Tanner and others, but
Oh, yeah. We don't want to hear from them.
so you decide. You decide.
I'm kidding. Okay, so when the Chairman Huntsman asked me about that, I understand now a little bit better what you're asking for. At the time, I thought, well, our school calendars are all over the place. We match whatever district we're working in, depending on that student where they are, and then on our campuses, we match the local district for that area. So we don't have one school calendar per se for the school programs. However, we are in the process of creating a school calendar with our new website that is currently under development over the next couple of years, and that will be displayed so that we'll all be able to subscribe to it if you want it to pop up on your calendar whenever we have a special event or something like that. It'll be a general kind of overall school calendar, and then we'll facilitate it that way. In the meantime, there are 4 main events that we invite you to. One is our Day on the Hill during the session when we take our students there. The other is our Opening Institute Day right before school starts, where we have all of our teachers together. Another one is our graduation, which is upcoming, and you will be receiving invitations shortly to that. And this year it'll be held on our Salt Lake campus. And then, what's the 4th one? Opening Institute, I said. Oh, yeah, the combined annual meeting. So that's the update. You will have a better calendar as we move forward here.
Okay, any questions from board members regarding calendar? Let's see, Board Member Belknap.
Can you give us the graduation date right now?
Graduation what?
Date, instead of waiting for an invitation?
May 10th.
Thank you.
Yes.
I actually have it in my calendar.
Oh,
There you go.
he had it in his, Laura.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Any other questions regarding the calendar? So I am excited that you're going to get it on your website and that. So
This year it's a little unique, just as a heads up. It's May 17th. We were wrong. Thank you for correcting that. Okay, good. This year we actually don't have any blind students who are graduating from USDB. We normally have a bunch from both schools, so it'll be a little bit heavy on deaf graduation this year, but that's just how the ball bounces once in a while.
So tell me the date for sure.
17th of May at 7 p.m.
Can we make a note, Lorraine, to have it added to our report? I'm doing that as we speak. Thank you so much. Then I don't have to bother.
Okay, I actually had it, the date that you show, so thank you. Glad we brought that up. Okay, or somebody did. Okay, let's just move on the agenda to item 6, which is the Australian trip, and you want to introduce Superintendent who's going to report on that?
So we're going to play musical chairs for a moment here. You all know Superintendent Lassiter, who's sitting next to Brian Quesenberry, and I will let Carolyn just take over and introduce our guests that we have here today. We don't have a division report today because of this. This will be short, and then next month we'll hear about Italy.
Oh. You bet. Okay, sorry.
Thank you.
So, do we have every mic on that we need to make this work?
Okay, you're good. Press speak. Good afternoon. I am delighted to have a few minutes to share with you our study abroad experience over to Australia. I'm going to keep my remarks brief because no one wants to hear from me. They want to hear from these great kids. These are 2 of our 6 superstars. We call them superstars who went to Australia and survived, came back to tell the tale. 3 things I'll just share with you really quick. It was a wonderful and unbelievable learning experience. It was an unbelievable enrichment experience, and it was a life-changing experience for our kids. Not only do we have the opportunity to spend a lot of time with the 2 different schools down in Australia, down under, but we had an opportunity to exchange ideas, how we use money, how to help them raise money to do short-term programs, and also, of course, they are looking to try to do and have an opportunity to come here to America to do a study abroad to Utah specifically. So we're excited about that. They were gracious hosts, and we had a wonderful growing experience. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to my team. Robin Keating-Clark, raise your hand. She headed my group with the expanded core, is what we call 9 more than core. Some of you are getting very familiar with that phrase. And also Becky Weeks, who helps in our our expanded core curriculum that we provide statewide for kids. So I'm going to turn the time over to them. Take it away.
Thank you again for having us. For interest of time, we prepared for you a handout where you can look over what we did, who the students were, the selection criteria for how they were to be in our program, what they completed in the 2.5 months that they were enrolled in the program. And on the back side, it's an overview of what we did while we were in Sydney and in Adelaide. And then my favorite part is the column on the right. They had to journal and do projects every night with us, and this is in their own words from some of our students. So for the interest of time, we've just prepared for you a handout with great pictures, including one of us holding a koala, because we did get the koala holding experience, which was definitely one of our favorites. The only thing that I really want to say is this program, not physically being in Australia, but this process, this is the reason why we're teachers. This is the reason why we offer programs like this. I don't know if the students will say this, because I talked with them a lot for the last 2.5 months, but this is accomplishing the dreams and the goals that we have. This, when we say life-changing, it's because it was. We were relentless in education all the time, constantly. Where are we? What are we doing? How's it happening? And watching them. And the best part was while we were there, we stood in the back and they worked together and they figured it out through mistakes, through problem solving, through utilizing their skills. And because I'm a mom, I know that mama bear pride feeling. At the schools, it was not Carolyn, Becky, or myself standing in front teaching about the expanded core curriculum. It was the 6 of them. They stood in front of everybody in public places with teachers, with students, and they constantly showed other students why they need the expanded core curriculum. And it made a huge difference in the lives of our students and the students that we worked with. So if anything, this was an experience that allowed me personally to be the teacher that I always meant to be, because I knew that I was able to see through the goals that we have always tried to do with IEPs or with programs. I got to watch the whole thing live, and I know that I can speak for our team when we talk about that education. So thank you doesn't seem like the right set of words, but it's the only set of words that we have. Thank you for supporting this amazing experience as educators to really make something come to life. So please refer to your handout. Fun pictures, great times, awesome experiences. You can also find us on social media and see we did food journals every day. If you go on our school website, on the Facebook page, you'll see Ashton doing her video journal about holding the koala. We have everything. We have every journal experience you could think about, from holding a koala to eating kangaroo. Luckily, we saw the kangaroo after we ate it, and the crocodile. I don't think we could have petted those cute wallabies or anything if it had gone another way. But it was an amazing experience. And that being said, we will turn it over to both Casey and then Ashton, and then they will introduce themselves and a little bit about their vision, just so that you understand where they're coming from when they started out in this experience. All right, Casey.
Okay. So is the microphone okay? Hi, my name is Casey Reyes. I'm 16 years old and a junior at Murray High School. So my vision is called retinopathy of prematurity, or ROP. So when I was little, I almost lost all my vision. This disease took away all the vision in my right eye, but luckily the doctors were able to save what was left with a needle shot at the side of my head. And my vision, I can only see about a foot in front of me, and my primary reading mode is Braille.
Okay, you can start your presentation.
Okay, so this whole program was really awesome.
You keep going.
Okay. I learned a lot, and okay, so here we go. Let's start. So as it says on the first slide, the study of broad experience of a lifetime, wait, is that what it says? Yes. Okay, good. So, and that's really what it was, and I will go into more detail. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so as you can see, so here's the struggles along the way. I had all of these. I dealt with all of these as we were before the program in the beginning and all throughout, but eventually I conquered all of them. So I'll start with problem solving. I had to do all kinds of problem solving and figuring out how to solve all the kinds of issues I ran into along the way. And I had fear because I really didn't have that much confidence in myself, and I didn't think that I could do it. I had doubts. And of course I had a busy schedule because I had to not only keep up with all the assignments that Robin was giving us, but also extracurricular activities in school and homework. And so, but I think that really pushed me to prepare myself for the future, like college. So here is all that I gained. Obviously, first is new mates. So when we were in Australia, we met a whole bunch of nice people. Australians are really awesome. And they're great. We also made a whole bunch of memories. I gained independence, new skills, self-efficacy, which I will come back to in a moment because you probably don't know what it means. I'm not even sure if I still know what it means, but I'm going to explain it. Perseverance and dedication. Now, back to self-efficacy. Self-efficacy is like confidence in yourself. I had confidence in myself. I had some, but not much. But as I went into this program, so many people helped inspire me to get the confidence that I have from like the mentors. When we had mentor online Zoom meetings with mentors who are former students of Robin. They gave us really good advice, and it helped me a lot. And we met some people in Australia, like Sean. He is blind cricket. He's a really good blind cricket player, and he motivated me because I like doing sports. So he motivated me to possibly think about doing a career in sports. And also my friends, they helped me grow in my confidence in myself. And I think that this really impacted me in a large way. Now we also had a whole bunch of opportunities that I never thought I would ever got to do, such as performing at the Sydney Opera House, which was insane, crazy. Yeah, it was okay.
There's a hand, Casey.
We have a question.
Okay. Yes.
I just wanted to hear a little bit more about your performance. What did you?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well, so our tour guide, he was talking about how I had no idea what the Sydney Opera House was. I know it's crazy, right? So I didn't know how important it was. I didn't know that it was such a legendary place in Australia. And so he was talking to me about how there is this great soprano who sang there, and he told us a funny story. And I asked, "Have you ever had any good tenors here?" And he said, "Oh yes, yes." And then he just asked me if I would want to sing there, and I did. I sang a piece from my a cappella choir. It's called Exultate Justi. It's a Latin song, and I sang that. I wasn't warmed up. I wish I was. I think I would have done better.
You were great.
We would love to hear it if we don't put you on the spot too much.
Oh, yeah, you could do it.
He's not warmed up,
So
but-
I can say something really fast and let him warm up. So this tour of the Opera House was a special touch tour. And so a special tour guide came out who actually knew about people with sensory impairments. He brought out a replica of the actual Opera House. And so every time we went to a different part, everybody was able to see what it was, like touch it really there, so we knew about the sails. And so actually the picture on your handout is us touching the tiles at the Opera House. We were able to go all over. In fact, our tour guide lovingly took a little rap on the knuckles because he allowed our student who had no vision, who has perfect pitch, to come down to the concert piano and to sit at the bench of a piano. We got to hear an orchestra play. We had the most amazing experience. We got to go backstage and touch all of the big props and the pieces so that we could see how everything worked together. It was the most amazing experience at the Opera House.
Warming up. And actually, it was he couldn't go on the stage, but he climbed the stairs and he let him sit or stand right on the edge, and he belted it out. And there was about 5 or 6 different tours in the Opera House at that time. Everybody went completely quiet. Casey had the Sydney Opera House floor.
Yeah.
Go for it. Okay, Casey.
Okay, so you guys really want to hear this?
Please do.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna stand up. Okay. So starting pitch. Exultate justi in Domino, rectus decet collaudatio. Confitemini Domino, confitemini Domino in citara, confitemini Domino in citara. Cantate ei, cantate ei canticum novum, bene solitei in voce ferratione, bene solitei, bene solitei, in vociferazione, in vociferazione, in vociferazione.
exultate justi in Domino, rectos decet collaudatio, collaudatio.
Oh. Thank you, guys. Okay. Okay, so another great things that we got to do is try Australian cuisine, of course, and the bridge climb, which was awesome. It was a really high bridge, and the line cricket, which was really fun. You know, they said, "Why don't you join the team?" And I was like, "I wish, but you know, I'm from Utah." And I also we got to go to Australian rules football, which was really awesome. We got to go on the field, and when we were in Sassville, we learned how to play Australian rules football, which was fun. And also my favorite thing we did, holding a koala. So soft. There's some of the pictures. You can enjoy them. And now I'm just going to close this presentation by a word of thanks, not just to you guys for watching, but I want to thank Robin and Becky and Carolyn, the whole USDB, for making this trip possible, for helping me, because this trip really impacted me, and all the things that I've learned, I'm gonna take away with me into adulthood, especially since I'm so close, and I'm gonna use these skills and everything that I have, and bring them in with me in the future to be a capable, successful, independent blind person. Thank you very much.
Thank you. We have a question or comment from Board Member Reby.
Thank you for this presentation. Your singing reminds me of how all of our unique experiences make our lives richer, and we all come with unique sets of talents, and we should cherish all of our uniqueness and our talents. Your struggle with our microphone reminds me that we should always be aware of everybody's needs and try to always accommodate for everybody's differing needs. And your abilities to achieve the insurmountable and go on this great trip is so exciting, because that will carry you for life, and you will always remember that you can achieve hard things because you went to a whole nother country, you sang on the Opera House in Sydney, and so it makes me so excited to hear all these great things. It reminds me of the task as an educator to always accommodate people's differences and to cherish those differences. So thank you so much for this opportunity.
Hi, I'm Ashton Hinsey. I have Stargardt's disease, which is a juvenile version of macular degeneration. I can see 15 feet in front of me, only large details and no central vision. Oh, it's going to be hard to beat Casey. He is great.
Go, girls.
I can't sing like that. If any of you had come to me a year ago and told me that in a year I would have the amazing opportunity to go on a study abroad to Australia, I would have probably looked at you funny and told you no way, only in my dreams. Okay. Me being a 14-year-old and extremely new to my eye disease, a thought like that seemed impossible. And yet here I am telling you how much this experience changed my life in so many amazing ways. When I first heard of the program, there were a few things holding me back. For one, I had never traveled out of the country, let alone with a bunch of strangers. And being away from family wasn't easy to think about. But I was willing to look past those things and applied. Because, hey, it's Australia. I am so glad I did, because those 9 days were nothing short of a fantastic adventure. And those people who were once strangers became some of my best friends. I can honestly say I learned so much more on a study abroad than I probably would have learned on the days of school I missed. Because I was only diagnosed with my disease a year ago, I missed out on a lot of time to learn about how to live with my vision impairment. But I can confidently say that all the things that I learned leading up to and going to Australia made up for a lot of the things I missed. I love learning how to find every area of the expanded core curriculum and everything we did. Not just one either. We learned just about all of them in every activity we did. Just by going out to eat, we used excessive technology by some of us using our phones to enlarge the menu, self-determination by advocating and asking for help from the waiter, recreation and leisure. I don't know about you, but I sure think that going out to eat is a leisure activity. I enjoy it because I don't get to go out very much, and etc. Naming all the areas and why, and just that activity alone would take a bit, but it's also amazing to see how different and how much more useful the expanded core is. Even though we still need the original core curriculum, having the expanded core even helps with that. But I don't think I could have learned so much without the help of the other 5, and Carolyn, Becky, and Robin. Not to mention teaching all the students we met in Australia. The children in Adelaide were honestly the sweetest children I have ever met, and watching them be so happy and playful, even with their vision, they were so strong to me. Not to mention a blast to hang out with. And all the people we met in Sydney, students and teachers, were amazing and so kind to us. Lily and I still talk every day, even with the time difference. I'm so happy I got to meet everyone and gain a ton of new friends. So I'm just gonna end by saying thank you, because honestly, this was the best thing I have ever done in my entire life, and I never would have expected it if it weren't for you guys and for all you put into it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Superintendent, does this conclude your...
It does. If I could make one quick comment. We wanted to take most of our board meeting time today with this presentation because this is really what it's all about. Not just study abroad, but the students. And a couple of things struck me as awesome. With all the other great things they experienced, there were 2 experiences that I thought were the best. One was that they taught their peers on a totally opposite side of the globe about the curriculum itself. And you all know when you teach, you learn more than anyone else. The other thing was, Carolyn described to me, they pushed these students so hard and got out of the way and made them become very self-reliant. They put them in one place and said, we will meet you across the city. You got to get there. And they got there on their own in a foreign land, in a place they had never been before, with customs. And I mean, fortunately, they speak a form of English. but the empowerment that happened with this, and that when they first came back, Carolyn shared with me that was what was impressive to her, is the growth you could see over a very short period of time, which will enhance their lives forever. And so you students did an awesome job today. Thank you so much for being here with the State Board of Education. You are excellent representatives, and so I'm glad you all had a great experience.
Good day, mate.
Good day, mate.
Good day. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay. And that was really good. Next up is the superintendent's report.
Very short today. We've had spring break and several other things, and so we haven't really done much to report on lately. But I did want to update you on the Springville building. We've gotten past the 75% of the construction documents. Very much on track for the schedule. We still plan to break ground this summer, late June, early July, and it's really getting exciting. We started meeting with the art committee this week, and then we have this next upcoming week, so you're aware, we call it Budget Hell Week, and where we completely disassemble the entire organization and put it.
Heck Week.
Oh no, it's hell.
Oh,
Yeah.
darn.
Yeah, and we put it all back together at essentially zero-based budgeting, based specifically on students' needs and only what's critical. And so Carl is excited because this will be his maiden voyage on this journey, and Scott's just smiling and nodding his head. Been there, done that. Anyway, that's my brief superintendent's report. But if you have any other questions, I'd be happy to answer them too.
Any questions? Okay, seeing none, thank you. Next, I'm seeking a motion to go into an executive session for the purpose of discussing the character, professional competence, or physical or mental health of individuals. Do we have a second? Second. This is a roll call vote. We will start with Board Member Wright.
Mark,
Yes.
can I participate if I come in on someone's phone?
If you're going to come in on whose phone?
Yeah,
Brittany's
if I
phone?
can
You
come in
call
on
Brittany's
someone's
phone
phone, can I?
because you'll, yeah. Yes, you may.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, where your motion passes, we're going to go into executive session. Okay, seeking a motion to come out of executive session. Second? Second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Those opposed? Voting is unanimous. Next is, do you have any comments or question? Okay, motion to adjourn from this meeting. This particular meeting. We should. Everyone's leaving. So, motion to adjourn? From our USDB? Yeah? Second? All in favor, say aye. Those opposed? Okay, voting is unanimous. Okay, we'll have a work session starting in about, or I call it work, but study session, excuse me, in 5 minutes.